People say that I'm lucky to be in this field. They ask me what I've done to be able to travel, to be able to make movies, to be able to do the things that I seem to want to do. I prefer the word blessed. It's a lot of very difficult, crazy, sometimes considered crazy decisions that I've had to make on a personal level. Today, I'm talking to you about following your dream. Maybe not somebody else's, not something that was set for you by someone else. Dreams. If I have to introduce myself, Bini, filmmaker, writer, producer, philosopher, a bunch of things that I try and do. For the next few years, I'm going to be shuttling between Australia, US, and India. As you can see, I'm nervous. I hate being on stage. I'm usually the people behind the curtains who are making this happen. It's an honor to be here. Today, I want to start with finding the inner child in you. We're constantly learning, we're growing, either as individuals or as a group. Hopefully, when I leave here today, I would have left you with at least one thought or just a question to yourself as to whether you would at least consider the possibility of leaving your fears aside and maybe taking that one step towards chasing your dream. Carve your own path. The theme that these brilliant students have come up with had a lot of people running to check up dictionaries, trying to find out the meaning of the word. What is this word? For me, it's about shedding all of those beliefs that are thrust on us by our upbringing, by the nature of the place that we've been brought up in, by society. And it's trying to find out what's right for you. What would make you smile? What would make you wake up in the morning and say, I want to do this? There is a famous quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Let's start at the beginning. Somebody said this earlier, but if you just close your eyes for just a second, imagine if you were that child, that baby, that toddler, before you learned the most famous word in Indian homes, no. No, don't do this. No, don't go there. No, don't try that. No. It's a word that you hear from, I don't know, really early age. Seemingly harmless, meant for good reasons, but often with dire consequences where it impacts the rest of your life, where you're constantly fearful to take that step. That step that can take you closer to what your dreams are. That step that can maybe make you an even greater success than you are in whatever field that has been chosen for you. We all start out having dreams, whether it's big or small. Most of us feel passionate about something in life, but somewhere along the way, I would say 90% of the people stop pursuing their dreams and keep saying, we'll do it someday. When I get that, I don't know, job, when I marry, when I build a home for myself, when I get $1 million. But why is that? I think it's because we stop believing that we can even achieve those dreams. We start to feel that we can't make a difference. We need to figure out how to get from where we are to where we want to be. And what's the way to do that? Break free. Break free from the shackles. Break free from something that you need to know what you want to be, what you want for yourself. My story, before I get into my journey, but I grew up in the Middle East, in Kuwait. I grew up in a very sheltered, very protected environment, and grew up thinking college education, a family, a great job, and I don't know what else has been taught and passed on the generations. That is what we should strive for. I've been there, did all of that. I was successful even in my corporate job and doing most of those things, but somewhere there was always something lacking. What is it? And I remember thinking, there is this part of me that's always been creative, whether it's writing or singing, which I don't do anymore, writing poetry, short stories, all of that. I think I started at a really young age. My dad, for summer vacations, when everyone else is having fun, would tell me, would take us to the British Library and buy us books or rent us books and ask us to do a summary, a synopsis of the entire book and story. I hated it. I felt like it's the worst punishment that I'm being given every day. And today, I realized, and a few years ago, I realized it was the best thing that he'd done for me. Because I started writing short stories, poems. I think from when I was like 8 or 9, I used to submit stuff to our school magazine. Every company that I've worked in, I started to head the corporate magazine and do all of that. But my journey, I think that is what I can bring to you today. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Filmmaking was not my dream when I was a kid. I did not think of being a director or producer. Hell, I had no idea what producing meant. I just wondered what it would be. I was this little girl that just knew I wanted to be creative. I had all these ideas of things that I wanted to do. And at some point, I think I realized I've always been influenced by art. I've always been influenced by music. And I also knew that I love helping people. How do I marry the two? How do I bring something that seems entertaining, but also change the lives of people in some way, if I can touch someone in just a small way, and change the way you think, change the way you question all of your beliefs and ask, is everything that I've been taught right, or do I have something that I can think about? The first seed came around 10, actually maybe more than that, but like 12, 13 years ago when I was watching an Oprah show. People asked me, is that what made you think of this field even? And it's true, because I watched her on screen. She had this amazing show. But that day, the show was not about, I don't know, giving something to other people. It was not about some celebrity coming on stage. It was not about her or a famous story. But it was about the people behind the scenes. It was about people like all of the organizers here today, who are the unseen faces that make things happen, and you see the face. So for me, Oprah, she was face and the voice. But what touched me about it was that these are the people who came up with the themes, the ideas, the booked shows, made contact with the agents, the stars, the whatever, came up with causes to fight for, to raise money for. And she helped use her power, her star power, to make that happen. I'm like, I want to be her at some point. I want to do that. And if I can get to a place where I can have any kind of visibility, any kind of power, I want to do it from behind these scenes. I don't need to be the face. I don't need to be the star. I just want to be able to make a difference. So I looked around for places to see what I could do and how to get into this area. At the time, I was in India, in Hyderabad. I visited Bombay. I talked to a bunch of people. Everywhere I was told no. I'm not very Indian. They call me fake Indian. B, I'm a girl. Girls can't do much. You're going to be eaten alive. And the worst was no came from people that cared about you. So they're not all, aggressive, negative no's, but they were also from well-meaning friends and family. Oh my God, you can't do that because you'd have to compromise your ideals. You'd have to do things that you're not happy about, and you will definitely not be able to say no. Yeah, that's true. So I just gave it up. I moved to Switzerland. I was working there for a few years. Again, I came to a crossroad. I was talking to a friend of mine. She works as a distributor in France, and I was telling her, maybe I want to do this, but I don't have to do it in India. I can do it anywhere, study somewhere. And they said, yeah, why don't you come work with me? And I'm like, no, if I'm doing this, I want to do it right. I want to be able to go all the way to the basics, get the foundation right, so that when I get out, I can just go full throttle. It's been a hard road, but in the end, I know that it is up to each one of us to decide what you would like to do and what is best for you. Not your parents, though they love you, and you should definitely listen to them in almost everything, but ask your heart. Not your teachers, not your friends, your heart. That is what's most important. I just want to end with, you can too. If I've reached here, I've made about 9 films of my own now. I've worked on about 26 films in the last 4 years, and I'm hoping that I'm going to make so many more. I want to be able to tell stories that will inspire people, and I'm telling you, dream big. Don't let anyone tell you no. Don't let anyone say you can't, because you can. As long as you, the one person that is most important, believes in yourself, and you believe in yourself and can work hard for that. Yeah, there are people who say, yeah, if you get me that job, I'll do this for you. No, it's important that you make that step. You do what it takes, whatever it takes. In the last 3 years when I moved to LA, I don't know, there were weeks, months where I would have like 2 hours of sleep and that's it. So sometimes that's what it takes. But at the end of the day, I know no matter what, I've been happy, don't regret a day of it. And yeah, whatever way I will, I'm pretty sure that I'll reap the rewards, and you will too. Thank you, guys.